Hello, Nathan here with the ebookreader.com. So for this video, I've got the Onyx Boox Note. I'm going to do a PDF review for you guys today, show you how the PDF features on this device. So it's got the 10.3-inch e-ink screen. It's based on the flexible substrate, so it's not glass. It's a lot lighter and more durable that way. So this device, it supports capacitive touch and stylus touch. The home screen, it lays out like this. So it shows your now reading, you recently read. You can also change it to recently added. And then you've got the library view right here. So you've got some different views if you just wanted to view like a longer list. You can also, if you wanted to just use like folders or something, you can set up folders on this device. So you got different sorting options for the library, and it's got some different stuff going for it. But if you just want to use folders, it supports folder navigation as well. So there's this button at the bottom of the screen down here. I'm pressing to go back, and it'll also go to the home screen if you hold it down. So you can use the Onyx's storage app if you want to use the folder navigation, or you can install like a file manager app. Like I have Astro installed to move files around. It's a little bit more advanced than the basic app on the Note. So let's go ahead and open up a PDF. Let's get started showing you some of the different PDF features. So these devices, they support having multiple PDFs open at the same time. You can have up to 4 documents open at the same time, and then once they're loaded in the RAM, it won't give you that loading. You can just switch back and forth between the documents, and it's nice and fast. That's one good thing about this device. They upgraded it to a quad-core processor, and it's got 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it's a lot faster than previous Onyx devices. You can switch between documents quickly. You've got the full screen mode if you want to hit that icon right there. You've also got the bookmarks in the top right corner. And so like page turning is nice and quick. You've got a number of features here, lots of zooming features, different navigation options. You can write directly on the screen with the stylus. There's a side note feature. So I'm going to go ahead and walk us through all these different features. Let's just start with a little bit of cropping. You've got the crop width option. So obviously a lot of PDFs, they got large margins. So it just depends on the specific PDF you're working with here. You can customize the zoom levels. You can scroll around on the screen, and like I said, this new processor, it's really nice and zippy. Things that move along smooth when you're scrolling. It supports pinch zooming as well. So let's talk about the note features first off. You've got the Stylus Pen that it comes with, and it supports different levels. I'll talk about the note features more in the main review. Right here, I'll just give you like a brief outline. You've got these different options for notes. You can have different pens. There's different like shapes you can use. You can set the thickness of the pen, how thick you want everything to appear. There's an eraser. So you've got some different settings here. You can erase by region. You can erase the whole page. You can also use like the undo button to undo stuff. So you got the different line thicknesses here if you want a thicker pen. And the responsiveness is quite good on the screen. It's got a Wacom screen, so it's nice and keeps up. There's very little lag. I really don't have a problem with lag at all. And it's also got that pressure sensitivity. Depends on how hard you press. So like I said, you can use the back button as well if you don't want to bust out the eraser. You can just use the back. There's also forward. You can save your notes. You can export them as part of the document. And what's new with the Onyx Boox Note and the Onyx Max that they recently released is the side note feature. So they kind of took this from Sony. You can have your PDF open on one side of the screen and have a separate note app open on the other side of the screen. So you can control the PDF over here. You can also have multiple pages with your notes app, and then you can have that all tied together. So you've also got like your different, your different shapes and your different line thicknesses as well for the notes page. Just like I was showing earlier, you got the same kind of features there. And then I will save it as a note page. So then you've also got, so there's this like icon right here, which will show this page where it will show your different bookmarks, your different highlights. So it keeps track of all your highlights, and you've got the option to edit them and export them. You can export them as a text file. And it'll show all your, like all the pages you've written on. It'll give you a thumbnail view on this screen. You can jump to all the pages you've written on. That way you can find them quickly and easily. So here's the look at the page turning. It's nice and zippy with the upgraded processor. So this device runs Android 6.0. You can install other PDF apps if you wanted to, but I find this PDF app, it's pretty much got everything you're going to need. So you've got the multi-page view. You can view 4 pages or 9 pages at once, or 1 page. You can jump through parts of your book this way. And you can scan through the different, scan through the pages. So it's pretty cool, and it does load this pretty quick. I mean, it's definitely an improvement over the previous Onyx devices. So the app also supports hyperlinks if you tap on like a hyperlink, and it's also got table of contents, and will support up to 3 list levels. So there are various zoom levels to work with. You can just use this zoom dial right here, kind of customize it how you want, and then when you turn pages, it'll retain your zoom level. There's also like a custom zoom, and then there's some other predefined ones like crop to width and crop to page. But the custom zoom dial works quite well if you want to just like set exactly where you want it to crop. And then you can set it up like this, get rid of the margins. And that does work well to get a customized layout for your PDF, since they're all different. Just sort of depends on what kind of PDF you got to lay out. Some of them have small margins, some of them have huge margins. So you can also set it up for different pages, like even on odd pages, you can have different layouts. So another thing that the Onyx devices have that's like something you don't really get with any other e-readers is this navigation option. You got different modes: comic mode, article mode. So you got this advanced menu here where you can set exactly how you want the page to page forward. Like if you have a multi-column PDF, you can set it up to follow the columns from top to bottom. You can like have it set for go from right to left or left to right, just depending on what type of PDF you have. So you got a bunch of different options. I'll show a 2-column PDF here shortly, but let's talk about a couple of these other things quickly. So you've got text to speech, you've got refresh, so you can set exactly how often you want the page to refresh. We've also got the text reflow. So this works best if you just have like a basic text-based PDF, but if you have anything with like images and graphs and all that, it gets kind of weird. But you can use the reflow to like control the size of the text. It sort of turns it into like more of a regular ebook. You can like increase text size, increase the like margins and stuff like that. So it gives it more of a book feel, but I find the results aren't always that predictable. So here is like a 2-column PDF, like I was just talking about. You can set the column mode to the 4 quadrants, and then you can set it with the navigation to go from top to bottom. So then it gives you like a preview of how it's going to work. You can set it up how you want. Tap OK, so then it'll be the top left corner. Then when you page forward, it'll go down the screen, and then it'll go back up to that top right corner. So you can follow a 2-column PDF that way without having to keep messing with it, and it will stay that way as you keep paging forward to the further pages as well. So that's definitely a handy feature. You don't get that with most e-readers. So Onyx does have a lot of advanced features with the software. You can also just use regular landscape mode if you want. I don't know really why you'd want to. I mean, the screen is big enough for the full screen, but if you want to go even larger, you got the option for landscape mode. Like I was saying earlier, you do have this contrast adjustment option. You can darken the text. It's actually quite nice. A lot of PDFs have sort of like faded text, and you can just make it a lot nicer and contrast better just by doing that. So you've also got, the usual on-screen features. If you hold down on a word, it'll pop up the dictionary. You've got your option to, you can tie a note to it. You can highlights. You got these options, like just what you'd have with a regular e-reader. And if you hold down and pull, you get the highlighting option. You can use the pen or your finger. So you can add highlights, and then you have that all added to your list that you can access from the menu there. So you can also use the stylus. It's a little bit more accurate with the stylus. You can kind of control exactly where you want the endpoint to be with that little arrow there. So if you wanted it to go like more part way, you can just sort of adjust it. You've also got text to speech, but the speaker is really quiet on this device. You're pretty much going to need Bluetooth headphones or speakers, external speakers, because unless you're just like in a silent room, because it's very, very quiet. You got the different speech rates, so text to speech option. We've also got some additional search options. So if you just want to run a search, you can type a search here, and it's actually quite quick and responsive with this newer processor here. So run a search, it's just as quick as that, even with 300 and some results. You just use this dial at the bottom of the page to go between different results, which will take you to the different pages where that word appears. So what else we got? So here is a look at a 90 megabyte image heavy PDF. I use this one to test out just to see how responsive these devices are. And this one, it doesn't get bogged down at all. It just keeps turning pages. Some devices where it'll start turning pages well, and then it'll pause for several seconds, but this one, it just keeps going. The pinch zooming is nice as well. And as you can see, even when you load up 4 8-page view, 9-page view. It's nice and quick, so it's definitely a good test for this. This device does work a lot better than the previous Onyx Boox in terms of speed and responsiveness with the newer processor and the newer software, so I do really like it. At this point, I would consider it the best e-ink e-reader for PDFs, along with the larger version, the Max 2. It just has a larger screen and an HDMI port for the monitor. But as far as software and hardware, they're virtually the same. So it is a nice device. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this review right here. Check out the main review. I'll go into more detail with some of the other features. So thank you guys for watching. You have a good day. Bye.